Hi guys, kia ora. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this seascape. To do this, I'm going to use white intense blue. These are main colors for our today's session, but also some kind of red. I used crimson red, just one dot of this red, not too much, less than in my palette. Also, probably I'm going to use lemon yellow, not too much also, but just to have some subtones. And burnt umber, one drop of burnt umber and one drop of yellow ochre. So, as I said, our main paints are white and intense blue. Because we have sea, we have also the sky, and we will mix some variations of these colors to get any other semitones. Okay, before we start with drawing, I just wanted to explain what I'm going to do with my landscape. So as you can see, we have the main object of our drawing. It is a sea. That's why the sky takes about 1/3 or 1/4 of the area of my canvas. So the main part or the main area takes the sea. As well as we can see also kind of sea coast or sand or land and the bottom right part of my canvas, but still we're focusing on the sea. And I also use this secret. I moved my horizon line upper the middle of my canvas exactly to focus the viewers on the sea as my main object on the canvas. So, and the second tool which I use is representing of far perspective, or how to represent huge space or huge area, sea area. So I use for this slant strokes or slant directions of waves. Placing these waves aslant, I just can manage the distance between them, because the closer to the viewer these waves are, the wider is distance between them, and the farther they are from the viewer, the closest is the distance between these waves. All of them together give us illusion of big distance, of huge area in the sea. So let's get started. For this session, I'm going to use two brushes. It's brush number 14, flat brush number 14 for the main background, for the main sea and sky area, and also flat brush number 10 for representing foam or sea foam on the wave crests. So I just wanted some extra paint with this smaller flat brush. So as usually water, napkins. Let's get started. So I wet my brush number 14, wipe it, and I start with the sky. I would like to represent nasty day. I don't have so much sun here or sunny semitones. No, just quite heavy cloudy sky. So to get this effect, I'm going to mix my white with blue. So I grab some blue, put over here, and grab some white, also put over here. Probably I need more white than blue, but anyway, I will mix them and manage. If I need more white or blue, I just manage. So I start with this light blue semitone, moving my brush from left to right on the upper part of my canvas, going down a little bit over here. If your paint is mixing not equal, it's also good to have some strokes or stripes or interesting transitions of these two colors. So, and I think something like here. It's about 1/3 or 1/4 of the main area of our canvas. I don't press with my brush on the paper such way, no. I just stroking. I'm doing strokes from left to right. So I touch with edge of my brush. I touch just a little bit with blue and wanted to add more darkness over here, only on the top, as well as I grab a little bit, just a little of red, and add it also over here, mixing up straight away here on the canvas. It's too dry. I just wet a little bit my brush to have smooth transition of these colors. So I don't want to have red, I just wanted to have kind of purple semitone. Okay, and moving to the closer to the horizon line, my sky is getting lighter, so I put a little bit more white on the bottom part of the sky and spread it equally, getting smooth transition. If you feel that your transition is not smooth enough, just wet a little bit the edge of your brush, and with this wet brush just go through these unequal spaces. Okay, done. Quite heavy, nasty sky. Cool. The next, what I'm going to do is the land. So seaside is not main part of our picture. It's just the background to highlight the beautiful waves and all this playing with water and semitones and light. So what I'm going to do, I wash my brush number 14 with this brush number 14, so I wipe it, and I wanted to have this yellow ochre on one corner of my brush and brown or burnt umber on the second corner of my brush, and I go with these two colors from left to right, mixing them up, so turning my brush such way I can mix them up here on the canvas. I don't dip brush to the paint, I just mixing them such way. Some more warm yellow over here. And again, I go to do the sand. I wet a little bit the edge of my brush, and with this wet edge I can get more smooth transition. Something like that. So I move my brush from left to right. All my movement of the brush are doing from left to right, because all this area sky, water and land are in horizontal direction, not vertical direction. So I just wanted to highlight these far distances and very huge areas of sky and land and water only with horizontal direction of my strokes. It's better to represent them with horizontal strokes. So my land is quite fuzzy, no, I don't have any well-drawn details or something. So I just wanted to say that we will cover with our water some part of this land anyway, so don't worry if it is not so sharp border over here. But as well as here, we can see some parts are lighter, some parts are darker. So it also represents different kind of wetness of our seaside, because sometimes we have wet and dark sand on the beach, and sometimes sand is quite dry and lighter. It's also fine. I wash my brush and grab small amount of white and put some white strokes over here. Probably it will be the driest part of this part of beach, just to show that it is something different on the beach, not the same surface is not equal, not the same. Okay, I wash it again, and now I'm gonna do the main object of my drawing. It is a sea. So as you can see, I have different variants of blue, and all of these variants I'm mixing up blue, white, yellow in different proportions. So I just want to show how to do this. I wash my brush and wipe it. As you can see, the furthest or the deepest part of the sea are darker, usually they are darker, and the closer to the viewer is the sea, or the shadier is sea, it's getting lighter. So, but it is not just blue, it's mostly sometimes turquoise, sometimes green, or transition between these colors, or it's also white. So some many transition of these variants are we are going to have here, mixing up all these colors together. So first of all, I wanted to get turquoise. I mix blue, white, and a little bit of yellow. To have kind of turquoise semitone. It is a little bit greenish probably. If it is greenish, put more blue. It's also the way to improve and get rich and intense semitone. Something like here. I don't wash my brush because all these parts probably they are not well mixed, but anyway we will have a nice representation of natural waves. It's also cool to have. So I grab this turquoise and go to the border between sky and between the sea. So I wanted to have nice sharp border in the horizon. After getting sharp nice line here, I go to the bottom with this turquoise. I use almost all of these mixing colors. So for now, it's quite good. Getting closer to the viewer, the water is getting lighter because it is not so deep than far away from us. So I just wanted to have another portion of turquoise with more white. So I mix some blue, some lemon yellow and white. But I wanted to have lighter variant. It's still greenish, so I put a little bit more over here. Probably I grab too much yellow. That's why this semitone is greenish. But I still wanted to have not yellow, not green, turquoise, but light variant. Probably this will be okay. I just check it. Yeah, it's lighter and nice to represent this part of the sea. Sometimes I overlap with my light turquoise. I overlap it with sand. It's what I actually wanted to have such overlapping because wave comes. So I almost cover. And now over here, I wanted to have nice smooth transition. My brush is quite dry, so to do this better, I just wet the edge of my brush and put it over here and spread. So, and also to have nice representation of these waves, or of this difference between depth, I put more white on the bottom part, spreading truthfully over here. Right here on the canvas also, you can spread it, mixing up together, highlighting these places which are not so deep. I move my brush again from left to right, not such way, not from up to down, just so. Probably for now it's the main background, background for our sky and for our water, for our sea. But it looks like flat flat surface. To get more volume or natural representation, I touch my brush with blue just on the corner, and with this so I just touch a little bit with blue. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a shape like, you know, a little bit spheric shape, because we can see huge area staying at the sea coast. We can see huge area, and horizon line looks sometimes semicircular, like a little bit curves. So I just wanted to show this with shade. I put more shade over here. I touch from this with blue corner of my brush and pull it over here. Very accurate. I still wanted to have sharp line on the horizon line. Oh, the paint is mixing. So probably I wash my brush, and with wet brush I can do it better, spreading more smoothly. So this darkness is only on the right part, right upper corner of the sea. Not everywhere, just only this part is in the shade. So, and with this shade we can represent actually this spheric form of our globe. So I try to do smooth transition with wet edge of my brush. Don't worry too much if you have not so perfect shade or not so perfect darkness over here. Don't worry about this, because we are going to cover some space with waves. So, and also if you're still unhappy, you can wait a little bit until your background is dry, and then put another layer and improve what you wanted to improve. So it's also possible to improve, because it is acrylic paint, very easy to use and very easy to improve anything you want. So okay, now I wash my brush, and what I'm going to do, I just put some, so I'm going to use this brush to do waves. As you can see, I have 3 waves. They are placed on my canvas aslant, so I just wanted to have 3 curve lines which are getting wider between them where they're closer to me, to viewer, and which are getting narrow when they are in distance, in big distance. From right side will be narrow part, and from left side will be more wider part. So first of all, I wanted to do shape or form of these waves. I need more blue. So I grab some blue, some white, and some yellow again. I have so much yellow here. Mix them to get kind of turquoise semitone. Okay, yeah, perfect. Then, if you are unsure that you can do tiny lines with big brush, you can take brush number 4 to do tiny lines. I can do this with this brush number 14. It's also okay, because I don't need so much perfection over here. Just it will be just the shape, general direction of these waves. I go from this dot, I go over here, doing curve lines. Then my second wave comes about 1 or 1.5 centimeter down to this first line, but it is getting, this distance between these waves are getting brighter. We start with 1 or 1.5 centimeters and come to about 3 centimeters over here, and then the third one, it also starts somewhere here and it's getting wider over here. So these are just outlines for our waves. Now, to represent all this big volume of the water, to create all this illusion, like 3D illusion, I wanted to put some shade behind these waves. So I need more blue again, and I mix blue to my turquoise. I already have some turquoise over here. I just mix more blue to have deepness or to represent all deepness of these waves. And this dark turquoise I put under the first wave. I repeat the same line, but with darker turquoise. Probably it should be darker, I don't know. Just put more blue over here. And again, if your lines are not so perfect, don't worry, because we still will cover another layer above this shade, above these waves, like foam, sea foam, and it is the secret how to improve. So don't worry too much about this. So next wave is closer to us, and we can represent this with lighter variant of turquoise. So I grab this one. I don't wash my brush, I just mix rest. So I had rest of blue on my brush. I just mix it, getting turquoise, but different kind of turquoise variant. Again, if you have extra paint on your brush, it's also good to have some traces or some strokes, visible strokes. It's also good to have them to represent natural natural waves or natural water, I mean. Probably I do this a little bit wider over here because it's getting wider when it comes closer to the viewer and more narrow when it is far away. So, and for the closest wave, I'm going to use the lightest variant of my turquoise. I still have some over here, but I put more white to get lighter semitone. And I repeat with this light turquoise, I repeat this shape of the wave. And it is this wave is getting wider because it is closer to me, to viewer. With the rest of this light turquoise, I can put some traces of the water which comes sometimes on the sand. I can put it, I just wet the edge of my brush, put some water over here to do this thick paint more liquid. And with this liquid turquoise, I can do this very easily. So such stripes represent the wave was already on this sand, but a rest of water comes back to the main part of the sea, but still the sand is wet and new wave is coming again. Okay, so probably that is all what I wanted to have with main part of the wave. Now it's time to do some sea foam over here. So I wash my brush, and to represent all this foam, I also don't put just only white over here. I'm going to mix some subtones. Sometimes they are whiter, sometimes getting greenish, sometimes bluish, so just improvisation, kind of improvisation. So Probably I will use brush number 10 to do this. Yeah, I'm trying to do this with brush number 10. I wet it, wipe it, and then I'm going to use rest of my turquoise here. I also have some kind of white with one small drop of yellow over here, so I get kind of greenish turquoise or something very light subtone. So, and with this subtone I'm load my brush with this color, with this paint. I try to do kind of strokes, but not just strokes. It is not stroking, it is mostly padding, I think. So I can use this part of brush, flat part of brush over here, going along this main shape of my wave, sorry. So, and this I'm trying to do these strokes a little bit semi-circular, just to represent the direction how water comes. And I also need good amount of paint to have this, because we have huge amount of water in the ocean, in the sea. It's not just poor strokes. We need fat, rich strokes. So the next portion is going for the next wave, the same. I'm just trying to use all my paint which I have spread in my palette. So blue with white. I go with this light blue. It's very light blue. I go again there to my first wave. I just wanted to have some additional strokes just to have difference. And these semitones, different semitones, will represent different depth of my wave and different, I don't know, many flows of water which comes with wave. So next one, the same. I go over here, doing my semi-circular strokes. They are quite short, a little bit chaotic, but still have main direction. I mean, we going with this shape of our wave. Okay, for a closest wave I'm going to mix more white over here. It's almost white, but no, it's not white, very light blue. And I go over here again with this very light subtone. I don't cover the whole shade, no, I leave some shade of the wave over here. But look, I have some texture thanks to a good amount of paint on my brush. I can show with this texture different flows of water. It's also cool to have. So, and now with this brush number 10, I go to my white and touch with this white, touch my the top of my brush, touch over here, and put some kind of clouds in the sky, just some stripes over here. I touch very lightly, very gentle. So, and with the finger I can spread a little bit just to show that it is not just stripes, you know. My clouds are too sharp. what I wanted to do, I wanted to wash them a little bit with my wet brush. I have clean wet brush number 14, and I just put some, I just trying to spread these clouds, sharp white stripes on my sky, to do this more smoothly. That's it. Until my, so whilst my waves are getting dry, I wanted to add some interesting details in the sea. Just with the top of my brush number 10, I still have white color over here. I just put some probably painting, just a little bit, to represent that somewhere very far away from us we still have waves also. Somewhere here also we have some, oh, it's quite huge wave far away. Yeah. So I think it's time to add some sea foam on the wave crests. So what I'm going to do, I wash my brush number 10 and add more white, because mine is running out, so I just wet a little bit more over here. And I'm going to use white paint to represent all this sea foam. So I wash my brush, wipe it. It should be quite dry and clean. So I grab white color and just start to put some short and brief, not strokes, rather padding over here to have some effect of foam at the edge of the wave. Sometimes we have more foam, probably here, sometimes less. I grab good amount of white paint over here because I wanted to have such interesting effect. And yeah, as you can see, I overlap sometimes my shade. It's also cool because we wanted to have natural representation. With the second wave the same. Where is my white? I need more white paint. And the same with the first one, with the closest wave, which is closest to us. I don't color in. I wanted to have these traces. I mean, I wanted to have this unequal edge of wave. So that's why I'm putting extra paint. I mean, with fat padding, I'm adding this white over here. So for now, I see that it is not enough foam, but if I add more white on the wet canvas, I just color in. But I wanted to have like a texture. So, and with this extra paint, I exactly wanted to show all this all these water flows and foam. So I can wait a little bit, and you also can wait a little bit when your main body or main part of drawing will be dry, and then get extra layer with foam, just sometimes with some parts of your wave, not everywhere, probably to have different intensity in the foam in your waves. So I'm doing it on the wet surface, that is so a little bit equal, but still, if you wait a little bit, your foam will be better. I also put a little bit of rest of my white, some white strokes over here, also to show the wetness of my sand. So something like here. And just to have fun, if you want, you can add some clouds on your sky with your finger, with fingertip. You can put more white, like here, spreading it more in the middle and less on the edge, and your sky can get interesting clouds. If you mix in this white with blue, it's also interesting effect, like rainy or weather is getting to rain probably. Just your fantasy, how big your skies, how big your clouds are, or how white, how heavy, how light, up to you. Just can add anything you want with your finger. Also, it will be also you will also reach interesting effect. I think our seascape is ready. Hopefully you enjoy this process and you can do your own piece of art. Have a nice day. Bye bye.